You're going to be looking at some Salem court documents, okay? These are the actual documents that have, of course, been published into your textbook, but it's the examination of Sarah Good. So this is dealing with what really happened. So I want you to, when you answer the questions, I want you to include answering this connect to your life here, okay? You do not need to, however, do this discussion. I want you to write instead. Have you ever been accused of doing something that you didn't do? Or do you know someone else who was falsely accused? If so, how did it make you feel about the accusation? Why do you think it was made? Was it ever disproved? Okay, now we're going to talk about the what's going on here, especially with Sarah Good. In 1692, the Massachusetts Bay Colony settlement of Salem was gripped by panic after a group of adolescent girls suffered mysterious symptoms such as convulsive fits, hallucinations, loss of appetite, and the temporary loss of hearing, sight, and speech. Diagnosed as being victims of witchcraft, the girls denounced certain townspeople for this crime, including a woman named Sarah Good. The section you will read consists of excerpts, okay, so just pieces, from the court records of Sarah Good's preliminary examination on March 1st, 1692, at the Salem Meeting House. Good was later jailed, tried in court, and found guilty. She was hanged on July 19th, 1692. Between 1692 and 1693, more than 400 people in Salem and surrounding towns were accused of being witches. Ultimately, 19 men and women were found guilty and hanged. When Puritan leaders began to doubt the accusers and their evidence, the Salem witch trials finally ended. Over the next 20 years, most of those falsely accused were pardoned and awarded financial compensation. Looking here, focus your reading. Transcript. This is one of a vocabulary words. All of these are vocabulary words that you need to know. A transcript is a written record of information communicated orally, such as a speech, an interview, or legal testimony. The transcript of Sarah Good's examination provides the actual question she was asked and the answer she gave. Think of this as the document of the script of a real-life drama. Imagine the voices of Sarah Good and her questioners and the motives for their remarks. Also notice how the introductory summary, a brief description of events written by those who questioned Good, differs from the transcript as a source of information. Looking at these here, a bias is a prejudice or mental leaning toward or against some topic, issue, or person. Writers can reveal their biases by using loaded language, words with strong emotional associations. The description, poor tormented children, reveals the writer's sympathetic attitude or positive bias toward the accusing girls. So you're more likely to believe these girls because you're of the words that they're using. Similarly, interrogators can reveal their biases by asking loaded questions, questions that make unwarranted presumptions or that force a certain answer. For example, why do you hurt these children? Assumes Good's guilt. Instead of saying, did you hurt these children, or how did you do it, now we're asking why. We're already assuming that you are the individual who, in fact, has already hurt the children. Examination of Sarah Good. Salem Court Documents, 1692. Summary. Salem Village, March the 1st, 1691 through 92. Sarah Good, the wife of William Good, of Salem Village laborer, brought before us George Locker, constable in Salem, to answer, Joseph Hutchinson, Thomas Putnam, etc. of Salem Village, yeomen, complainants on behalf of their majesties against said Sarah Good for suspicion of witchcraft by her committed and thereby much injury done to the bodies of Elizabeth Parris, Abigail Williams, Ann Putnam, and Elizabeth Hubbard, all of Salem Village, aforesaid according to their complaints as per warrants. Sarah Good, upon examination, denieth the matter of fact that she ever used any witchcraft or hurt the above said children or any of them. The above named children, being all present, positively accused her of hurting of them sundry times with these 2 months and also that morning. Sarah Good denied that she had been at their houses in said time or near them, or had done them any hurt. All the above said children then present accused her face to face, upon which they were all dreadfully tortured and tormented for a short space of time, and the affliction and tortures being over, they charged Sarah Good again that she then so tortured them and came to them and did it, although she was personally then kept at a considerable distance from them. Sarah Good, being asked if that she did not then hurt them who did it, and the children, again being tortured, she looked upon them and said that it was one of them we brought into the house with us. We asked her who it was. She then answered and said it was Sarah Osborne. And Sarah Osborne was then under custody and not in the house. And the children, being quickly after recovered out of their fits, said that it was Sarah Good and also Sarah Osborne that then did hurt and torment or afflict them, although both of them at the same time, at a distance, or remote from them personally. There were also sundry other questions put to her, and answers given thereunto her according as is also given in John Hawthorne, Assistance, and Jonathan Corwin. Okay, remember when we're looking at a transcript from the court documents, this would have fallen to someone who would be a court documenter, and they actually learn now a special type of language and typing style in order to be able to keep up with the speech that's going on, and they actually have to transcribe this after the fact. Looking through the transcript, we're going to see that the Q is going to be standing for question, the A is going to be for answer, so the question is going to be asked by someone from the court. Whereas the A is going to be Sarah Good. Okay, she is the accused, okay? So she's being questioned, and then she's going to have to answer. So it says here, examination before the worshipful assistants, John Hawthorne and Jonathan Corwin. So it could be either Jonathan Corwin or John Hawthorne at this time who are asking the questions, and they could actually be going back and forth with them. Sarah Good, what evil spirit have you familiarity with? None. Have you made no contract with the devil? Good answered, no. Why do you hurt these children? I do not hurt them. I scorn it. Who do you employ then to do it? I employ nobody. What creature do you employ then? No creature, but I am falsely accused. Why did you go away muttering from Mr. Paris, his house? I did not mutter, but I thanked him for what he gave my child. Have you made no contract with the devil? No. Hawthorne desired the children, all of them, to look upon her and see if this were the person that had hurt them. And so they all did look upon her and said this was one of the persons that did torment them. Presently, they were all tormented. Okay, this would be what would be a time where you would point out in court scenes, do you see the person accused of the crime? And this is where they would say, yes, I see them. They are sitting wherever. Sarah Good, do you not see now what you have done? Why do you not tell us the truth? Why do you thus torment these poor children? I do not torment them. Who do you employ then? I employ nobody. I scorn it. How came they thus tormented? What do I know? You bring others here, and now you charge me with it. Why? Who was it? I do not know, but it was some you brought into the meeting house with you. We brought you into the meeting house, but you brought in two more. Who was it then that tormented the children? It was Osborne. What is it you say when you go muttering away from persons' houses? If I must tell, I will. Do tell us then. If I must tell, I will tell. It is the commandments. I may say my commandments, I hope. What commandment is it? If I must tell, I will. It is a psalm. What psalm? After a long time, she muttered over some part of a psalm. Who do you serve? I serve God. What God do you serve? The God that made heaven and earth, though she was not willing to mention the word God, her answers were in a very wicked, spiteful manner, reflecting and retorting against the authority with base and abusive words, and many lies she was taken in. It was here said that her husband had said that he was afraid that she was either a witch or would be one very quickly. The worshipful Mr. Hawthorne asked him his reason why he said so of her, whether he had ever seen anything by her. He answered, No, not in this nature, but it was her bad carriage to him, and indeed, said he, I may say with tears that she is an enemy to all. Salem Village, March the 1st, 1691 through 92, written by Ezekiel Cheever. Okay, Ezekiel Cheever here, okay, would be your court reporter. Okay, this would be the person that would have been writing everything down. Okay, going on, and you are going to have the rest of the time to work on these questions. The questions that are assigned will be 1, the comprehension check with the 2. 3, 4, 8, and the literary analysis. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 technically questions, which are due on Friday.